Several hundred people died in Bucha due to the terror of Russian troops. As of the morning of April the 4th, about 350 people were buried, said the head of the Bucha ritual service, Chernihiv. After the release, the city is destroyed and its streets are covered with the bodies of the dead. The first burial work in the city began on March the 10th with the permission of the Russian military. The injuries from which people died are either from bullets or shrapnels. 15 bodies were collected on Yablunska street. People with their hands tied and shot in the head. When they had already occupied the city, we went to them and asked to let us bury the bodies. They did not allow. They said, "It's cold, they can lie there." We explained that 3 their soldiers were lying there too. They also had to be taken away, so they allowed it. Bodies were placed in the morgue. The refrigerators did not work. This was horrible. Now the number is about 340 people in Bucha only these days. But that's not all. We just cannot cope with everything. At least 20 more addresses are to be reached tomorrow. Many are buried in gardens and backyards. We still cannot determine the exact number, because many people are buried right next to the houses. There are no lists of all of them yet. We have buried almost 350 people already. After the cleansing of Bucha, the funeral service will continue to work in Vorzel. Trostianets in the Sumy region was under occupation for a month. Russian artillery destroyed a number of shops and pharmacies. This is a shoe store building. Only the debris left. This store belonged to Sergei's family. Having occupied Trostianets, the Russian robbed it in the first place, as they did with the rest of the towns. Some even came in sneakers and changed for better shoes. They didn't touch women's shoes, there was no need, but they needed shoes of men. They took off their sneakers or cold ankle boots and wore warm ones. The total cost of goods in the store was about 500,000 hryvnias. Sergei decided to stay in his hometown. He lived with relatives where there was a more reliable seller. He remembers how the occupiers behaved in the city. They took away the phones. They forced people from the homes and occupied them. Here is a broken house. They cast out the lady and settled in the house. That's it, no home anymore. They wanted something to eat from the sellers because they had already cleaned the shops and started asking people. I wanted them to come and see it all with their own eyes and not say that it is our Ukrainian soldiers who change into their uniforms and make a mess. So far, Sumy region has been almost liberated from the Russian military. However, small groups of Russian remained. They have been searched for now. The military of the armed forces of Ukraine is clearing up the territory. 5 medical institutions were destroyed as a result of attacks by the Russian troops on April the 3rd and the 4th in Mykolaiv. The footage from the gynecology department of one of the hospitals. In general, a children's hospital, an orphanage, a laboratory and an oncology center were damaged. More than 400 windows were broken. Neither doctors nor patients were injured. In the village of Yahidne, in the Chernihiv region, Russian soldiers held between 300 and 400 locals captive in the basement of the school. This was told by people who were in captivity. The information was also confirmed by the head of the Chernihiv Regional Military Administration, Vyacheslav Chaus. According to him, people got sick and died in a small room, but their bodies were not taken away. There were children in the school basement with the rest of the hostages.